Hello world, and welcome to Quiet Defaults. Today, we are stepping back not away from personal finance, but above it. Because money does not move independently. It reacts. It responds. And most importantly, it remembers. Wars, pandemics, technological shifts, political realignments, resource shortages, these events do not merely dominate headlines. They quietly reshape incentives, availability, prices, and behavior long before most people notice the connection. And while no individual controls the global economy, every individual lives inside it. Understanding this relationship is not about prediction. It is about resilience. The first principle, the world moves first. Economic systems rarely change because people decide they should. They change because reality applies pressure. A war disrupts supply routes and energy flows. A pandemic halts movement, labor, and consumption simultaneously. A technological breakthrough changes what skills are valuable. A political shift redefines trade, regulation, and access. Markets respond before policies do. Prices move before explanations arrive. By the time clarity reaches the public, behavior has already been rewarded or punished. For individuals, the most dangerous assumption is believing personal finance exists separately from these forces. It does not. Your income, your expenses, your job security, your purchasing power all sit downstream from global events, whether you acknowledge them or not. Ignoring this doesn't make you independent. It makes you reactive. Bridge 1. Global instability. Why liquidity matters more than returns. Periods of global instability share a quiet pattern. They reward flexibility, not optimization. When systems strain, access matters more than performance. Cash flow matters more than returns. Optionality matters more than ambition. Liquidity is often misunderstood as fear. It is not. Liquidity is maneuverability. It allows you to absorb shocks without selling assets at bad times. It allows you to wait when others are forced to act. It allows you to choose instead of comply. This is why liquidity consistently outperforms leverage during uncertain periods, not in profit, but in survival. And survival compounds. Time, after all, is the most underappreciated asset in finance. The second principle, technology reshapes value faster than policy. Every major technological shift produces two outcomes simultaneously. Productivity increases. Certain skills lose relevance. This has always been true. What has changed is speed. Automation, AI platforms, and digital infrastructure compress transitions. Jobs evolve faster than training systems. Income models shift before identities adapt. The danger is not technology itself. The danger is single-point dependency. One employer, one narrow skill, one fragile income source. When the environment changes, systems built on a single pillar tend to crack. Bridge 2. Technological shifts skills and income resilience. Financially resilient individuals treat income like a system, not a source. They invest in transferable skills. They assume relevance must be renewed. They avoid tying identity to one economic role. This does not mean constant hustle. It means deliberate redundancy. Multiple competencies. Multiple ways to remain useful. Multiple options when conditions change. In global transitions, relevance compounds quietly until suddenly it doesn't. The third principle, inflation, is a social event before it's a financial one. Inflation is not just rising prices. It is changing behavior. It alters what people substitute, what they delay, what they abandon. It reshapes expectations before it reshapes balance sheets. Historically, inflation follows disruption wars, pandemics, energy shocks, supply constraints. While central banks debate solutions, households absorb the friction. The real danger is not inflation itself. It is rigidity. Bridge 3. Inflation cycles spending flexibility and buffers. Financial resilience here is not about beating inflation. It is about not being trapped by it. Rigid spending structures suffer. Flexible ones adapt. Resilient systems prioritize discretionary margins, adjustable expenses, buffers that absorb price movement. When prices move faster than planning, adaptability outperforms precision. The resilient household doesn't panic. It adjusts. The fourth principle, geopolitics, punishes overconfidence. Geopolitical shocks rarely announce themselves clearly. They arrive as volatility. Energy prices move. Currencies fluctuate. Markets react emotionally before logically. The personal risk is not volatility itself. It is overcommitment during calm periods. History rarely rewards the assumption that tomorrow will behave like yesterday. Bridge 4. Geopolitical shocks, avoiding over-leverage. Leverage magnifies certainty. It also magnifies regret. Debt structures built during stable periods become fragile during disruption, not because debt is evil, but because inflexibility is. Resilient systems prioritize manageable obligations, exit options, psychological calm under stress. Financial resilience is as emotional as it is mathematical. Grounding global knowledge into personal practice. This chapter is not an argument for fear-based planning. It is an argument for context-aware design. You do not need to predict crises. You need to avoid being damaged by transitions. Practical practices. Maintain liquidity even when returns tempt you elsewhere. Build skills that remain useful across environments. Design spending that can contract without pain. Avoid commitments that assume permanent stability. Resilience is not built during crises. It is designed quietly, long before them. What this chapter is really about: global systems will always move beyond individual control. Personal systems don't have to move blindly. Those who understand how the world shapes incentives are calmer when it shifts. They adjust earlier. They react less. Financial resilience isn't predicting global events. It is designing for their inevitability. Thank you for spending this time with Quiet Defaults. Stay safe, align with your inner calm, and build systems that remain standing when the ground moves. Until we meet again.